Hello everyone, welcome to a Digital Combat Simulator World video, DCS World, which is a new game that I've picked up. Been playing it for about 6 months. Took a break a long time ago from World of Warship Splits, and yeah, here I am. So we'll take you through a bit of flying the Gazelle in a multiplayer, well, it's actually on a multiplayer server, but I'm the only person there at the moment. So this is in Haifa, which is on Lebanese coast. And there has been a disaster and a whole lot of people are needing to be rescued. Unfortunately for them, they have me. They'd probably be better off waiting for an ambulance, but they don't get that choice, and it sucks to be a virtual person. So anyway, we'll take you through a little bit of what it's like to fly in DCS, because most of the people on this channel probably, yeah, this is probably a bit of a surprise. But anyway, so let's carry on. So basically, DCS, let's start at the beginning. DCS is a combat flight simulator mainly. It is sort of like, I'm probably going to get in trouble with my squadron mates here, but it's basically like Microsoft Flight Simulator with combat. And in DCS, they actually have quite a good helicopter model. So I have upgraded my hardware quite significantly, and maybe I'll have a video about to explain just how much I've invested in the hardware. But I started out with a cheap stick, but yeah, I've taken to flying helicopters, yeah, I've taken to it with quite a shine. Now the problem with flying helicopters is it's not easy. Oh, there we go, apart from the fact that we almost collide with people going the other direction. Because basically there's a whole lot of different forces at work, and DCS models them quite well, and in some cases potentially over models them. And one of the particular problems, and you'll see every now and again my mouse circling parts of this dashboard, one of the particular problems is that if you get slow and you start descending too quickly, you descend into your own downwash from your rotors, which sort of has a compounding effect. So essentially you drop out of the sky like a brick, which was a common problem, which is why I'm here in Haifa rescuing all these people who need to be rescued. Basically because it's a good opportunity to get out there and do a whole lot of hovering and landing and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I'm doing it in the Gazelle. Now, the Gazelle is a paid module for DCS. In the combat simulator itself, I'd describe it as mostly useless, but it's fantastic for search and rescue. So it's not great for carrying cargo. There's a much bigger helicopter called the Mi-8, which incidentally I'll try and do a video on some point. Which is great for carrying cargo, has great autopilot, great for long distances. But the Gazelle, well, here you can see I'm starting to descend a bit quickly. We'll just cut to what's going on the screen. So I didn't watch my vertical indicator, which is what I was circling there. So as your speed goes down, what happens is that you have to drop the collective, you have to drop the power, essentially. Well, the collective isn't the power, but you basically have to decrease the amount of lift you get, because your lift becomes more efficient, and then you overcompensate and you end up in a sort of a bit of a crashing situation. But we're trying to land here. Now the reason we're landing here in this bare patch of ground that has no one here to rescue is the quite important fact that my dog needs to go to the bathroom. So I need to stop down here and try and work out what's going on with my dog. So we land the helicopter, and there we go. Successful landing. One of the great things about this particular mission is that you get a lot of practice at taking off and landing in very small spots. Right, so I've landed. I've picked up my dog. I've stuck my dog on my lap because basically that's the fastest way to buy a bit of time to complete the mission. So the dog is going to be licking my arm as I complete this mission, but that's probably detail you don't need to worry about because it doesn't come through on the video, which is probably just as well. Right. So here we are, we're ready to take off. Now the head tracking software, you can see that I'm looking around the cockpit. My screen has a webcam, and it's actually a free program, a couple of free programs together that provides head tracking. So far it's been pretty good. There are I think there's something called IR Track, which is quite expensive, which may be slightly better. So I do struggle a little bit in air-to-air combat where I turn my head into crazy sort of positions to try and maintain a view, but I think that's pretty common, even if you have IR Track. So it means that you're not you can look around essentially. So it translates from slight movements into your head into larger movements from the cockpit, and once you get used to it, it's actually quite natural. So here I am, I'm taking off. I'm trying not to gain too much speed. You can see I'm sort of crabbing my way towards the blue smoke, which is the guy who's waiting to be rescued. And yeah, I'm just trying to make sure I don't gain too much speed. And that's one of the other things about this particular mission. Normally, if we're in a combat mission and I'm carrying logistics around, it's basically get from point A to point B as fast as possible. So you take off, put your collective up to the maximum, dip the nose, and basically try and just eke out the maximum amount of speed. And if you're lucky and it's a Russian helicopter, you've got an autopilot to help you through. So I'm watching the speed. So that's my speed there on the right. The one that I circled on the left is my vertical indicator. If ever you give DCS a try, and there is a free helicopter, the UH-60 is a mod, so it's not an official sort of module, but it's of the same quality, and it is free to use, so you can sort of give things a bit of a try. The first time I tried it, I didn't have a clue, didn't get off the ground, but that's okay. If you ever want to give DCS a try and want a video on how to start the Black Hawk, there's plenty out there to be fair, so I probably don't need to do much at all. Right, so we're coming in. Now, one of the things about this particular mission is that I spend a lot of time flying close to buildings. You can see, so I'm actually, these views that you're seeing are me doing a replay, and I can use the replay I can adjust the view as the replay plays, but well, there he goes. You can see the guy almost directly underneath the helicopter. It says that we're winching him in, got a few seconds to go. So yeah, so these external views are just because I'm using the replay. And in the replay, I'm looking around the cockpit in the replay. It's not actually the views that I had when I was playing, but all the movement for the helicopter and all the pickups and all that sort of stuff is consistent with the original replay. So here we are, we've got the guy on board. One guy is enough for me. Let's not overcommit. Once you get 2 or 3 guys, once you get your 3rd guy on the Gazelle, actually you have another problem in that if you try and push the collective up too high to get some lift, you can sometimes push the motor into the sort of the red zone and it starts beeping. And if it spends too long in there, you blow up your motor, and then you're learning how to auto-rotate land, which I can't do in the Gazelle. I've only ever successfully done that in the Black Hawk when I accidentally switched off the motor. And that's one of the other things I enjoy about DCS. It is quite realistic, but also it is just a game, because no one in their right mind would trust me near a real helicopter. Yeah, so here we are. We're heading in towards the red smoke. We'll give you a bit of gameplay footage that explains what's going on in the gameplay. I have no idea why I'm looking behind me, but anyway. So what we're trying to do with the red smoke, as you come in, one of the reasons the Gazelle is so fantastic is that it has really good visibility. In the Huey or the hip, or what helps us in the hind, you actually have quite poor forward visibility, and it can be quite difficult to land on a point. But with the Gazelle, what I'm going to do is, as I come in, you'll see that I just keep that red smoke, the landing pattern view, over the top of my dashboard. So you can see there, just through that little gap there in the window, between that, what is the radar warning receiver, which is that little piece of black that sticks up on the left. I'm just trying to keep a view, and as you can see, I'm circling the 2 gauges, the only 2 gauges you actually need when you're learning, which is speed and vertical velocity. There are altimeters, and there's, well, the engine beeps if it pushes too high, so that gauge is important, but you can sort of get by as you're learning. So here we are, we're coming in, we're trying to slow down. You can see the helicopter shuddering. Now that's basically because it's moving between transitional lift. So if you go fast enough, the rotors are biting into clean air and they act a little bit more like a wing and a little less like a fan. So, but as you get slower, that's the power of the rotors pushing the air down. There's no forward movement lift, so you become a little less efficient, and that shuddering is as it translates between the two. You can see here I'm doing a reasonable job of landing. It's quite good to get an outside view, because I really thought I was going to knock a skid on that and go over sideways, but as you can see, I had a good few feet, or meters, depending on which part of the world you came from. So in for a smooth landing, and then we unload our cargo, and we have another one to add to the total. I think I'm on 26 guys rescued, for several hundred abandoned in the field, but that's not my problem. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Yeah, thanks for watching if you made it all the way through to the end. And yeah, sorry it's not water warships.